Hello YouTube and welcome to lesson 11 of the Adobe XD tutorial series. So today we're going to learn about how to use grids inside of Adobe XD. So if you're familiar with other Adobe applications, then you notice that the grid option is from the view menu. But here in XD, what you have to do is you have to click on the artboard. And once you click on the artboard, over here you see the grid option. And right now the grid is turned off. So if I were to check this icon right here, then the grid is turned on. And by default, the grid color is grayish. So I'm going to change the grid color. Just click on this icon right here and choose the color that you want. You can also make it darker and more transparent according to what you wish. You can also choose a different color if you want to. Right now, the grid difference is based on pixels. So by default, it is in pixel itself. You cannot change the value here like in other Adobe applications. And over here, what you want to do is you may want to change the pixel density of the grids right here. So right now, one pixel grid is equals to 8 by 8 size by square pixel size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 50. Going to do 50 right here, and you can see that the grid size actually changes a lot. So now what you can also do is let me change it back to something like 20. Alright, so now the pixel grid size is smaller. So you can just increase and decrease the pixel grid size just by typing in the value right here. But usually I do the multiplication of 8 because that is what regular screen division is like. So I'm just going to do 16 right here. So that's the bigger amount of grid. Alright, so let me just do 12, or let's do 10. 8 is the default one. So let me just do 16 here. Alright, and the bigger the grid becomes bigger just like that. So right now what I can do is if I were to choose use default, it'll go back to the default grid that is originally there while the application is there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a different color grid, and I'm going to, let's say for example, use 12 size and make this as default grid. So let me just make it default, and then let me go back and just change the value of the grid just like this, and change the value just like this. And let's say for example, if I want to go back to the main grid, I'm just going to choose use default, and it'll go back to the main grid that I actually chose to make default. So that is how the grid works. And over here, whatever you draw on the grid, so whenever we are designing, we choose a neutral color so that it's easier for us to design. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag, and you can see that everything snaps onto the grid. So over here, this is quite precise. So if you want to create a 3 by 3 square, or you want to be consistent with your design, then grid is really there to help you guys. So if I want to, let's say, be consistent, so I know that the line is over here. So if I were to drag it, I exactly know that these shapes are well aligned with each other, which makes your design look very, very consistent. So this is how you use grids inside of Adobe XD. Hope you guys learned something as always. And as always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.